How's it going? Dave from Comic Book Investments. So in this video, we are going to look at 5 keys that are heating up. And what do I mean by heating up? I mean that these comics are on the rise. They're going up, the prices are increasing, they were down before, and now they're turning that corner. Could that be a trend going forward? Or could that be just a maybe anomaly just for this time being, and then they're going to go back down? Well, I'll give you my analysis of every single book on what I think is going to happen. Before I do, though, I have a special announcement. I'm running my very first auction on my website, collectorscomics.com. We've been working on this for years and years and years and years. Finally launched our first auction. Thank you for all the people that submitted books to us. We have 0% seller fees, 0% buyer's premium. Literally everything is free. If you want to head over to our website, you can see books like this giant size X-Men #1, 6.5. All of our auctions start at $1. It is going now, started today, and is running until for 2 weeks. On February 4th and 5th is when the 2 days that they end. So if you want to get some pretty good stuff, I would go ahead and check out our website again, collectorscomics.com. Okay, let's get into the video. That's what you're here for. Let's look at the first book that's heating up, and some of these prices are ridiculous. I can't believe they have gone up that much. So first up, we got Batman 252. This, of course, is that classic cover by Neil Adams of the Joker. I love this cover. Love it, love it, love it. Anyways, so you can see down here that a 5.0 back in November. Now, this is the average price for the previous full month. Last month was December, but this is the previous full month. So the previous full month, November, a 5.0 sold for $365. Now it currently averages, that means all of January, the average for all January. So we got, like 21 days in January. The current average over that 21 days is $495. That's up 35% just in basically a month, 35%. A 7.5 in November on average sold for $660. Now that sells for $899. That is up 36%. An 8.0 back in November sold for $821. That is up 34% for a current average of $1,100. If you look at the graph up there, you can see that it's just been slowly, steadily going up with some, obviously some sales high, down low, things like that. But if you look at all these, you can see that it's basically on average about 35%. So why is this book going up? It is a very iconic cover. I know people use that word all the time, but this is an iconic cover. This is a very classic cover by Neil Adams. These Batman books, I love this cover. There's other people that love the cover. I've seen this cover on t-shirts. I've seen posters. It's all over the place. That's why I think this book has been slowly steadying up. And if you look at the graph, you can see there was no comic boom, that every other book got. That it's like super hot. Nope, this is slowly steadying going up. And I think this is the type of book that you want to get. And it looks like it's just going to, I would imagine, honestly, I don't think this is going to go down. I don't think this is an anomaly. I think it's still going to slowly just kind of slowly trend up. All right, next we got Amazing Spider-Man 194. This is the first appearance of the Black Cat. And 9.0 back in November on average sold for $560. Now it sells for $803. That is up 43%. A 9.4 sold on average for $937. Now sells for $1,096. That is up 17%. And a 9.8 sold on average for $4,500, now sells for $4,690. That is up 4%. And if you can see on this graph up here, you can see obviously it got that huge spike from the comic boom, but it just kept going up. Most comic books dropped. This one did not. This kept going up. Now, there's been some rumors and speculation and all sorts of stuff around Black Cat, and that's what's been pushing this thing forward. Will it happen? You never know until the actual TV show comes out or the actual movie or whatever it is. Will you know for sure until you can see them on screen. And then even then, it's like, well, how big is the role going to be? It could literally be a cameo or a bit part or who knows. So, but I think this is going to continue going up. I think this is a trend going up. It's going to continue heating up. I don't see it going down anytime soon unless there's a turn on the spec news. I think it's still a good book to get regardless of the spec news, but I still think this is I've even seen more recent sales, like the current average was, taking all of January. I've seen like recent weeks going just ridiculous, even higher prices. So yes, this is still going to go up, 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 up. All right, moving on. We got Tomb of Dracula #1. This is the first appearance of Dracula in the Marvel Universe. And a 5.0 sold in November for $366. That currently sells for $420. That's up 15%. An 8.5 sells on average in November for $742. That currently now is $845. That is up 14%. And a 9.4 in November averaged $1867. Now that currently sold for $28.50. That is up 52%. And if you look at that graph, it's just like up, comic boom, and this keeps on going higher. Now, there was speculation that Dracula was going to appear in Moon Knight TV show. And I think some people thought it would be the Ethan Hawke character. I like Ethan Hawke. But I don't think that turned out to be true. So I have a feeling with this book, because it thought that Dracula was going to be in Moon Knight. I don't know. Could he still show up? Sure. But I think that's going to turn out to be a bust. And let me tell you, people thought Mephisto was going to show up in WandaVision. That never happened. And there was always speculation. Every 5 seconds, there's speculation that so-and-so is going to show up in something. I don't think Dracula is going to show up in this. I think this book is going to take a hit and go down. So I would not be surprised if you see this book on my dropping list in the next 2 to 3, 4 months. But who knows? Who knows? It could still happen. I don't know. But I would not bet that this would continue to go up. All right, moving on. We got Daredevil 131. This is the first appearance of Bullseye. An 8.5 in November sold for $355. Now that currently sells for $567. That is up 60%. A 9.4 sells for about $895 in November. Now it sells for about $1150. That is up 28%. A 9.6 in November sold for, on average, $1450. Now that sells for $2,000. That is up 38%. Look at the graph here. It goes up and kind of goes down. It continues to go up. This book is up all across the boards. Like every grade range, I remember looking at this up. So I'm not really sure any spec news or rumors of Bullseye in any coming TV show or movies. I think one of the reasons why this is going up, though, is because, spoiler alert, I'll give you some time to pause the video, fast forward like a minute or so, because in the new SpiderMan movie, Charlie Cox's character, Daredevil, Matt Murdock, is actually in SpiderMan, playing Matt Murdock as the lawyer for Spider-Man. So I think there's a lot of speculation and thinking like, oh, well, they're bringing all the Daredevil people over, and that includes Bullseye. Although I did see season 3, like someone made a YouTube video of all the fight scenes with Bullseye in it, and it was really, really, really good. I was like very impressed. But because I stopped after season 2. But anyways, so that's why I think that this book's going up. I still think Bullseye is a great character, and I think this is a good book regardless. Long term, yes. In the short term, will continue to go up? I think so. All right. On to the last one. If you haven't subscribed already, please think about subscribing. I'm almost at 8,000 subscribers, so I'm hoping to get there by the end of the month. And let's go on to the next one. Marvel Superhero Secret Wars #8. Now this, of course, is the origin of the black symbiote suit. Now this, if you remember, has been on my drop list. I've done updates on it. I had it a long time ago. I think I even did it with Comic Tom because it was dropping. But then what happened? What changed? Well, let's look at the numbers and see what happened. All right, a 9.4 sold in November for $235. Now that currently sells for $302. That is up 28% in 1 month. A 9.6 on average in November sold for $316. That is up $300 to $365. That's up 16%. And a 9.8 sold for $708 in November. Now that currently sells for $7.94. That is up 12%. And if you look at the graph up here, obviously it got the huge hype from the comic boom and the Venom movie coming out. And then it started dropping, slowly dropping. But then if you look at the very end, it had this massive tick up. And if you look at the light purple, that's, peaks and valleys, one-offs. The dark purple is the average line. And you can see that that light purple hit a record high. That means this book in a 9.8 has sold for more than it's ever sold before. That's simple. So what happened here? Why was it was always on, the dropping list, going down. So why did it change? Well, if you don't know, a panel page from this book, original art, sold on Heritage for over $3 million. I think it was like 3.4, 3.5. I can't remember exactly. Over $3 million. Ridiculous. It was one of the ending panels, and it had SpiderMan, like this, and a couple other panels down below. It wasn't even the cover. Ridiculous price. I could not believe how much it sold for. So I think that's why this got a huge bump. Will it continue? Will it continue to rise? That is the question. I don't know. We're in uncharted waters right now, because normally, a panel page, a splash page does not sell for this kind of money. This doesn't happen at all. So the previous records for comic art was, you have Frank Frazetta paintings that have sold for like 5 million, 3 million, 2 million, stuff like that. But if you go to actual like comic, like pencil and ink, the most was like, I think around 800,000 was an old EC horror cover. There's also that Todd McFarlane, that cover of, I think it was 328, where he's punching up the Hulk. That sold for like 600 and something. A panel of the very first appearance of Wolverine from issue 180, where he's on the back and he's running through. That sold many, many years ago. So we'd never seen anything like this. So I can't even begin to say, like, is this a trend that's going to keep going up? My gut feeling is this is going to get a temporary boom, because, people are going to be showing this art all over different websites. Like, look how much the comic art sold for. So I think it's going to temporary boom, but I think it will come back down. I think that's what's going to happen. Originally, this had a boom because of the comic boom and also because of the symbiote suit for Venom. And that's when it started coming down. So that is my gut feeling. So there you have it. I hope you like this list. And as always, have a great day.